If you're starting to grocery shop or plan your Thanksgiving menu, or if maybe like me, you're getting excited for the eating part of that equation, keep in mind some of our favorite foods are not always healthy for our hearts. According to the CDC, heart disease has been the leading cause of death for men, women, and people of most racial and ethnic groups in the country for really the last 100 years. Someone in the U.S. dies of a heart attack about every 40 seconds, a pretty staggering statistic there.
This afternoon, we want to bring in Dr. Aaron Grober, a cardiologist here in Austin. Doctor, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you for having me.
We appreciate it. So let's just start with maybe thinking about things that we maybe should not eat that might be bad for our heart during these Thanksgiving meal. And on the flip side, maybe what are some of the healthier alternatives to substitute for those?
Sure. So keep in mind, whenever you're thinking about diet and heart health, it's really the cumulative impact over a course of years or a lifetime that really amounts to a problem.
Not just one thing.
Absolutely. But that said, you do want to try to be a little bit more health conscious when you can. Holidays you want to indulge a little bit, but try not to go too crazy. So some things that you could do instead of a second helping of mashed potatoes, maybe you go for Brussels sprouts or a vegetable. Turkey's a pretty lean protein, so that's good. So maybe do a second helping of turkey instead of ham or something like that.
Sounds good to me.
Lots of ways that you can make it a healthier Thanksgiving.
Okay, what I'm hearing too is I can have the pie, but just maybe not the second slice of pie. Is kind of what you're going for
one
here?
slice is okay. Maybe we want to just have an apple or something like that if we need a second sweet treat for dessert. But
balance.
just try to, exactly, everything in moderation.
Alcoholic drinks on the health of our heart.
Absolutely, yeah. So, a drink or two with friends and family at the holidays is okay. But once we exceed that sort of 2-drink limit, that does start to have some impact on heart health. Specifically, it can increase the risk of abnormal types of heart rhythms, things like atrial fibrillation, atrial flutter, SVT, palpitations. Those sorts of things are really triggered by excess alcohol intake. So if that's something that you're prone to, or if it runs in your family, maybe you want to try to limit yourself to just 1 or 2 drinks this holiday season.
Another piece of good advice there for sure. So after all of that food and perhaps maybe a couple of drinks in there, some people may want to take a nap. I know that's usually on my to-do list on the Thanksgiving holiday too. So what would be your recommendation about maybe working in some of the exercise or a bit of time to be active?
Absolutely, yeah. Between the turkey with all that tryptophan and those sweet treats, I think most people are kind of done for the day after Thanksgiving. But maybe you want to go for a little jog or a walk beforehand, and or maybe the next day. Just try to keep a little bit of moderate physical activity going as well while you're kind of indulging on that food side of things.
Talk to us about some of the symptoms. I mean, I think when we talk about a heart attack, stroke, some of these, symptoms of stressors on our heart, what are some symptoms that people can be aware of if they may be experiencing some of those pretty scary health scares?
Absolutely, yeah. There is actually a really significantly increased risk of heart attack, stroke, and other cardiovascular emergencies during the holidays. I think it's a combination of, lots of extra salt in our diet and lots of stress around family members maybe. And so there's certainly an increased risk, and we see that all the time at the hospital. Definitely some warning signs to keep an eye out for. If you're having a lot of chest discomfort, sometimes it can feel like indigestion, but if it's spreading up toward the shoulder, spreading toward the back, if you're feeling any shortness of breath, in addition to that sort of indigestion or chest discomfort, that wouldn't really be typical for just kind of, hey, I ate too much. So if it's anything other than just kind of a little bit of a tummy ache, if it's spreading anywhere else or you're having trouble breathing, you may want to get that checked out right away. Remember that hospitals are always open during the holidays. The emergency department's always open. So if you're nervous about it, feel free to call your doctor or come on in if you have any concerns about that.
Well, we appreciate you so much taking the time to share this advice, and we hope that you have a good holiday as well.
Likewise.
Yeah, so Dr. Aaron Grober, thank you again.